I'm back with an updated version of my accessory additions to my 2013 F6B. This is now fall of 2016, and I think I'm finally done with finagling, adapting, changing, buying, selling stuff. So there's only one more thing I'm going to do to my bike, and I'll mention that at the end. So I'm just going to go over the things that I've changed since my last couple of videos and update you on everything on the bike. I'll show you the lighting, start it up after, show you all the gadgets, and hopefully this will be the last one for a while from me. Alright, first of all, what have I done? I'll go over everything I've done. We'll start with the windscreen. This is the Madstad windscreen, and it is adjustable for height and tilt. It has knobs on both sides of these arms, and I can raise the height up and down and the tilt back and forth. It's adjusted on the lower setting right now. This is the 11-inch screen. I'm 6'2", and I can just see over it, so it's perfect for me. So that's the Madstad. Continuing on the front of the bike, my lighting. I have settled on, for now, LED bulbs on both sides. These are the Pathfinder LEDs sold by SoCal Moto Gear. As of right now, I still have halogens in here, but I have in my basement the matching set of SoCal Moto Gear LEDs for the high beams as well. I'm going to be putting those in the late fall when I do my air filter change, because my hands are just too big. I can't get in behind through the pockets to change the bulbs. So I'm going to, when the shelters are all off, I'll put in the LED high beams. I've got a Kuryakin fork brace in here. I've got these neoprene covers over top of my fork tubes on top so that the bugs don't get in there. I have, let's see if I can get in there for you, a fender extender. It's made by a company called Fenda Extenda, and that extends the coverage down so I don't get as much road spray and crap on the lower cowl. From there, I have debadged, taken off the Honda badges, and these are aluminum anodized, CNC machined, and you can see them, I think F6B, and around them I have LED rings made by Trick LED, and I'll show you those after. Up here, right under, hanging underneath the turn signals, are first of all a bracket, and that bracket's made by various companies, and that just attaches to the mirror housing. And then I have a set of driving lights. These are LED Rider, I can't remember the model number, 40 I think, something like that, 35s, LX something. Anyway, they're 4,300 lumens per side. They're LEDs, they're Crees, and they're adjustable through a dimmer. We'll get to that after. These are Muth LED mirrors with the turn signal flashers and the LEDs, and they're also tinted blue for less reflection back. Moving down, these are the Rivco highway pegs, Aero, A-E-R-O highway pegs. These are in chrome. They're fully adjustable. I've got them adjusted as far out as they'll go because my torso and legs are fairly long, and they just open and close like that. The newer version that I've seen has a little peg underneath that you can use the tip of your foot to open and close. There's an indent down here, but I have to reach down and manually open them with my hand, not with my foot. So that's a nicer, I guess, a nicer feature with the new ones. I have a Kuryakin side stand. It's a little bit longer. It has a much larger pad than the stock side stand, so that's great for asphalt, gravel, that kind of stuff, and a nice shiny chrome. These are the Kuryakin mini drop boards. I have to be careful when cornering because those, with a little bit aggressive cornering, those will drag for sure. These are the Kuryakin Transformer passenger floorboards. They tilt forward so the passenger can raise their leg up if they want to, and down. And there's a good solid platform there for the passenger, and they tilt up out of the way when you're riding single. This is a power, well, not a power port, that's the connection for my C-Tech charger, and it goes direct to the battery. That's for leaving the battery on, maintaining standby charging in the winter, and if I don't use it for a Okay, up top on the handlebars I've got, these are Grip Puppy foam grips. Honda chrome end bars, just for nothing more than some farkle. I changed out the levers. These are wider levers for me. I've got fairly large hands, big hands, and they are adjustable. And these are, I believe, big bike parts. On top of the clutch reservoir, you can see I've got a grouping of switches, and these are the switch controls for my driving lights. One of them is set up for on at 10%, off, on is 100%, off, and this one is unused right now. So I can flip them on and off, and they have LED lights for at nighttime, so that's nice, so you can see where the switch is and which one is operating. Some RAM mounts for GPS. These are J&M speakers. The latest version, 2015 winter, came out. A big improvement over the stocks. A lot of guys put in Polk speakers, but I'm really happy with the J&Ms. Kuryakin drink holder. What else we got up here? Oh yes, voltmeter. That's wired to the accessory terminal of the fuse box. Continuing, this is a breakaway throttle lock. This is a 13 model. It didn't come with standard cruise control, so that's probably the best throttle lock I could get. I'm very happy with it. I've tried the ones where you have to twist them like Kyoko and Throttle Meister. This has got them beat upside down and all day long, so I'm happy with that. Moving around to the back of the bike. Kind of hard to see, but this is the large MP3 rack. It's kind of like the stock Honda rack, or the optional Honda luggage rack, but it's probably double the size, so I can put a nice big bag on. This is a Nelson Rig, kind of a day bag that I've got on right now. I also have a bigger bag if I want to travel, but then it's so wide that I have to take off the antenna, which isn't a big deal, it just unscrews. Down here, chrome license plate frame. I've got show chrome or big bike parts. This is a TIR3, I think it's made by Whelen, not sure how it's pronounced, and it's a very high power LED that's programmable. And I also have the stop lights, tail lights, and the LED lights linked to a Curry brake modulator. You'll see that after. I changed out the chrome muffler tips because mine were rusting along the bottom. These were aftermarket, I can't remember, I think American Motorcycles, I believe. And they come in black or chrome. I wanted the chrome with the black tip. No, I didn't take off that little bit of wax that I put on there. So they're chrome up to that point, to the ends, and then they are black. I think they are powder coated. If you look inside, they're just big, there's nothing in there. They don't help, they don't do anything to the stock bike sound, but they look okay. Okay, I will start up the bike. Actually, I'll turn on the lights first, show you the lights. And those are the LEDs. They come on automatically, but they are switchable. I can turn them off. They're really quite bright at night. It's almost like having a courtesy light on the side of the bike. Those are the LED low beams, and I'll put on the high beams in a second. Okay, low beams, high beams. You should be able to see the difference in the color. The high beams are definitely more yellowish. They have a lower K rating, Kelvin rating, temperature-wise, than the LEDs do. So you can see a big difference there. Those are the LED driving lights at 10%. That's 10%. Now I'll put them up to 100%. I don't know if it's going to wash out the picture or not, I have no idea, but that's That's my full lighting. If I put on my lower fogs, I've got bike MP3 down here in the fogs, those will turn off the high beams. It's the law here that you cannot have fog lights and high beams on at the same time. So I'm going to turn on these down here. There's the bike MP3 lower fogs, you can see. I'll tilt this down a little bit. There you go. So there's my lighting from the front. I'm just going to take the camera out of the tripod, and we'll go around and have a look at the turn signals and the stop. Actually, I'll leave the camera in the tripod, and we'll have a look at the back. And we'll raise this up a bit. Okay. Okay, I'll turn on the turn signals and you'll see the Muth turn signals first. And there's the four-ways, there's the hazards. I have LED bulbs down for my turn signals as well, so you can see them flashing. And I'll show you the brake lights. Okay, I think that's about it. I don't think I've forgotten anything. Voltmeter, yes. Forgot that. I'll show you the voltmeter. It's off by about a half a volt. It should be reading dead on 14. It's reading almost, I don't know, 14 3/4. It's off by about 3/4 of a volt. I had a digital voltmeter in there that's just much more accurate, but it was really hard to see in the daylight because it was an LED red. So I don't know about this. It just gives you an idea if the bike's charging or not. So you can hear it just stock. Turn off my fog lights. That's about it. I'll hope to get this posted up fairly quick. I've got 18,000 kilometers on the bike. I've done lots of work to it lately. I changed the spark plugs, changed the coolant system, all the fluid. I had the brake recall done. I did of course the rear master cylinder was done, flushed and bled. I did the clutch and front brake also, just to make sure they're in sync for that. That's all done. So bike's up to date. I just have to do the air filter this winter and then put in the LED high beams, the Pathfinder high beams. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this. See you again. Sorry, that's not it. I forgot one thing. Two things actually. First is the digital gear indicator. This is kind of an important one. A lot of guys like this feature. You can see the LED in here. Right now the bike's in neutral and it doesn't show. As soon as I put the bike in gear and let the clutch out, you can see it goes to 1. And as soon as I shift, clutch in, and it goes all the way up to 5 progressively. So the bike's on the center stand, that's why I'm able to do this. And as soon as I put it in neutral, it goes back to just a dashed line. And the other crazy thing I've got in here, it's really handy. Our Canadian bikes, the speedometers are out by about 6%. They're 6% approximately optimistic. So I've got in here what's called a speedo healer. And this little button on the right, I've added. What it does is it records the top speed that I've maintained or I've achieved since resetting this. So if I press this little button down here, watch the speedometer. It jumps up to, in this case, about 150 kilometers an hour. My last ride out I was doing 150, which is about, I don't know, 90 miles an hour. And to reset that, I just hold it down and it'll reset back to 0 and it'll record the highest speed next time. So it's kind of a dual function. More importantly for me, it's the speedo correction. And it attaches to the VSS, the vehicle speed sensor, and it adjusts that signal going to the ECM, which in turn adjusts it calibrates the speedometer however I want to calibrate it. So I got it adjusted to 6%. You can change it to whatever you want. Unfortunately, it also affects the odometer, and the odometer and speedometer in this bike are out of sync. So now my odometer reads a little bit pessimistic by about 3%, which is okay, I suppose. So that's the other two things I forgot to mention: the digital gear indicator and the speedo healer, which is tucked away. It's a little tiny little box which is under in the pocket inside there by the radiator. All right, that's it. Bye-bye.